Welcome back to another Why Now Is Your Time podcast. I got a special guest. Man, listen, if you ain't doing nothing else, you better get your pen and paper out because we got some information that's going to give you some transformation. What's up? Welcome to the podcast.
Blessings, brother. Pleased to be here. Blessed to be here, man.
Yes, man. Tell the audience a little bit about you.
Man, absolutely. First and foremost, let me express my gratitude for you, man.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? You for blessing me to be in your atmosphere, man.
Yes.
Your platform.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Passion, man. And also, I want to give a quick shout out and a special thank you to my brother Christten.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? For blessing this opportunity, man. But listen, guys, first and foremost, I'm a kingdom man.
Come on.
Right? My name is Darius Bradley. I'm also known as Full Ability Dad, but mostly known as Divine Encourager.
Come on.
Right? And my 3 words are go get it. And I'll get into that a little later, guys. Listen, first and foremost, I'm a kingdom man. I'm a proud husband, a father of 3, been with my beautiful wife for 26 years.
26.
Man,
come on.
Yeah, man. My 3 beautiful kids, my junior Darius, my beautiful princess, my favorite daughter, my only daughter, Deonce, and my baby boy, Daniel, man.
Come on.
I'm a multi-best-selling author.
Come on.
Right. They call me, motivational speaker. Really, man, I'm a mailman for God.
Ooh, I'm a mailman from God. I'm delivering the message. I'm delivering. I tell people all the time, I'm just a vessel.
That's all.
So you looking at my blessings, but it's just God using me as a vessel because I surrendered to Him.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? I surrender. I told Him, not my way, God, not my will, but let your will be done. But He also said He give you desires of your heart.
Oh, He does.
So whatever you desire is what you can get.
Absolutely.
So how'd you get on this journey? Let's talk about the journey of just giving people the motivation they're looking for.
Man, I tell you what, a lot of times people think that, in life, when we are seeking out to do something on our journey, that it's going to go exactly the way that we thought.
That's true.
Exactly the way that we planned.
That's true.
Right? Listen, I didn't even know that this was my calling. I promise you. Listen, I'm originally from New Orleans.
Come on.
Right? So my path started in the music industry.
Come on.
Right? I thought I was going to be this successful entertainer in the music industry, man.
Yes.
And God has a way of showing you what I call snippets and sizzle reels of your life. Right? You think you're going to be doing that, right, for the remainder of your life, but God is just using you there, placing you there momentarily, right, to really place you where it is that
so we're in seasons.
We're in seasons.
And we got to recognize the seasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think people need to know that right there.
Big time.
Once you're in the season, doesn't mean what season you're in today, the next 3 years might be another season.
Absolutely.
But you got to be able to. So how did you start hearing from God when it came to that?
Man, listen. A lot of us run from the very thing that God houses our gift in. Come on. And it's the pain. Right? So I had to go through some discrepancies, some contrast, some falling down and bruising, scraping and banging myself up.
Yes, sir.
To get to where I am right now. So it's because of the pain that I'm standing on this platform right now. God said, your contrast, right, will become your content. And we're going to illustrate that in front of the world because not only are you going through it, you're going through it, but you're going to be able to, extend your teachings and your learnings to others who are going through it at the very moment.
So I like that. Not only are you going through it, but you're growing. You're going through it. Because I think a lot of times when people going through, they don't grow through.
Yeah, they don't grow through.
They tend to stop. They tend to say, "Oh, well, I don't really know. I mean, it don't look like it's supposed to look." Yeah. And I tell people the defibrillator, when you see the machine, as long as the machine going doom doom, doom doom, what that means?
Yeah, man, you're alive.
You're alive. But the minute my life is so easy, ain't nothing moving. What happened?
Yeah, man, you did.
So I think people need to understand like the whole contrast of life gonna have its ups and downs, but it ain't what you going through. It's what you growing through.
It's what you're growing through, man. And my brother, man, Chip Baker, he says that all of the time. Right? But it's something that we all have an opportunity to live out.
Yes.
Right. So it's not just a saying. It's an opportunity to live that saying.
Come on.
Right. So if we don't, like you said, if we do not go through and become stagnant, then guess what? Guess what? Graveyard. We're on the way.
Come on.
Cemetery. We're on the way.
Come on.
Casket, coffin, whatever you want to. We're on the way.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and
sir.
I truly believe that, when we go through these things, grow through these things, then that will enable us to truly better our best.
So I heard you say earlier about your pain. Yeah. And I like to talk about your why.
Okay.
All right. There's an acronym I say, why is what's hurting you. Because what's hurting you is going to fuel you to be great.
Man, don't just blow what I'm saying? Like you have to, we're in Texas, so you have to slow that down, chop and screw that. So run through that one more time.
So what's hurting you, all right, that's the acronym for why, is what's fueling you, all right? Because that pain that comes to you is what's going to push you to your purpose. It's going to push you to get to the place where you're trying to go. But the problem is so many people is letting the pain stagnate their growth instead of letting the pain push their purpose.
Man, I love it so much, man. How I translate that, and I love that, man. Why? What's hurting you? And listen, I promise you guys, listen, if your heart is beating, your eyes are open, and you're still breathing, that's not only the evidence that you're alive, right? But that's also the promise that you're still becoming. So whatever it is that's hurting you, you can get past it. Listen, the things that you are praying about, okay, you're going to have to develop a certain strength to carry those blessings. And so we're asking, why is it so heavy? Why is it hurting? Because we're trying to do it in our own strength. Right? And when we let go and let God, God promises us that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So what is your pain? What's hurting you? That's the very thing. That's the boosters that's on your spaceship.
The indicators.
Indicators. Pain is an indicator. And when we dissect our pain and we dig inside of there, we're going to feel something. That's our gift. And when we pull that gift out, guess what? We receive it. But when we share it, we become the very thing that we received.
I love this. It said, yesterday was history. Tomorrow is a mystery.
Yeah.
But today is the gift.
So
the thing is, are you living in your gift? Are you living in the present? Are you living in where you trying to go? Are you living today in your gift?
In your gift, man.
We got the gift.
We have the gift, and many of us aren't utilizing it because we have not dissected our I'm telling you, man, you say, what's hurting you? That's the things, those are the things that we're constantly running away from.
Yes.
Why? Because it hurt. Listen, guys, though pain may hurt, it's not there to hurt us. It's there to indicate where we need to make adjustments. Okay,
the pivot,
right? So listen, we all want to slam, but you first have to touch the rim. You have to be able to touch the rim first.
But before you even try to touch the rim, you still have to develop some kind of strength in your legs, some kind of muscles, something you got to do. Repetition only. Repetition is the mother of all learning. So every day I tell people is what you telling your brain is what your brain is learning. So the problem is people are connected. So we got to use ourselves as a plug.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you a plug, every day you wake up and you a plug. So when you walk around, you got to watch what you plug into.
That's right.
Because if you plug into the negativity, it comes back to you.
It's coming back
if
to
you plug into that positivity, it comes back to you. So the people you're around, if they don't shift,
that's right.
If they negative, you can't grow.
Can't grow.
But if they positive, that's why every day I was like, some people, when they call you, you shouldn't even answer your phone because that's a plug that you don't need to hear. You don't need to have nothing about. But people are scared to let friends go.
Yeah.
Because I tell people all the time, sometimes your friendship expires.
Oh, it definitely expires. Even listen, whether it be a good friendship or not so good, it's going to expire. But what is it keeping you away from the time that you're staying right there?
Yes.
So if you know everything has an expiration date, then that translates to me, we need to have a 911 on our lives and move with a sense of urgency. Darius, even if it's a good thing, Why? Because if we clap up, in the end zone for too long, that's a penalty. Your celebratory moments, even though they're justifiable, doesn't allow you or give you the right to celebrate too long.
Ooh, I like that. Let's move there. The problem is, I tell people all the time, man, my mom said something. She said, you know what? Put your finger out and point at me. And I did this. She said, you got one finger pointing at me. You got one finger pointing at God and three pointing at yourself. She said, stop blaming others.
Talk to them.
You know what I'm saying? Stop blaming others.
Yeah.
And start to understand that you are the reason why you're not getting the success you want. So I want you to translate, what are some of the failures that you have overcome that you can give to other people?
Man, I'm going to tell you like this here. It's the mindset. The mindset, right? So some things, I'm going to use myself for example. I told you I have 3 beautiful kids. kids.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And I'm going to be transparent and I'm going to be organic because I know right now that somebody's listening. Someone's listening right now.
Come on.
Right. That's going through the darkest moments in their lives right now.
Come on.
I promise you, the question that you asked just now is something that they're truly going through right now. So listen, I use my words as mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Come on.
They say, Darius, where does your pain come from? I say, I have a little girl that's on life support.
Wow.
And she's the longest living person in the world with the severity of her syndrome. Right? No one never made it past the age of 2 by the grace of God. She's 15 years old.
Wow.
Right? And so you ask me, what are some of the things that I've overcome to now become better than my best? Right? So at one point, the mindset that I had in the situation that I'm dealing with, my little girl being deaf, being on life support, being born with over 27 different diagnoses, I would have lost my mind. I would have, put the letters AL at the end of the word emotion. And what that would have done, that would have caused me to become emotional.
Ooh,
when you become emotional, you lose control voluntarily, right? But when you remove the letters AL at the end of the word emotion, it'll enable you to respond instead of react. You can go through and grow through the emotion, but not become reactional. And become emotional, I should say, and lose control of the situation. So, any father, you don't go into fatherhood wanting your child to be in the NICU for 7 months. You don't have a child with the expectations that they're going to have to go through surgeries every 6 months just to keep them alive. Like
come on,
every 6 months.
That's
just
crazy.
To keep her alive.
That's crazy.
I can be upset with the world, right? I can be an irate person. I can be, just someone that you don't want to be around. But I said, instead of being that person, what am I to learn?
Your why?
What is my why? What's hurting me right now? Though this hurts, am I supposed to hurt others from this?
Come on.
Or am I supposed to be the illustration to show that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, like we spoke on earlier?
Yes.
So I had to go through all of those variables. I had to go through each level to now understand that God said, now, you've been on this side, you've been on that side.
Come on.
Which side do you want to live out? And I said, I'm going to embrace it because God said he'll never give me no more than I can bear.
Ooh, come on, God.
I'm going to keep going because God said I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Right? And I'm also go beyond that because God said, ask and we shall receive, knock and the door shall be open, and seek and we shall find.
Yes.
So I implemented all of those into the areas that I might have acted on my own strength.
Come on.
And I let go and I let God, and this is where I am today.
So I think people, the problem that I encounter with a lot of people is we start to walk, we start to try to walk in our purpose.
Yeah.
But so many obstacles come up, we end up giving up.
Yeah.
And so I really want to talk about fear.
Yeah.
How important is overcoming the fear for people?
It's very important because first and foremost, we got to realize that fear is nothing but an illusion. Fear is nothing but an illusion. You can say fear, the acronyms for fear is false evidence appearing real, or you can say it's false emotions appearing real. Whatever it is, it's not real, right? It's an illusion, right? And so it's there as another indicator.
Yes.
If fear arises, emerges, and or surfaces, that means you're right there. You're right there. You're right there. Why is it showing up in bold print?
Come on.
Why is it showing up so highlighted? And why is it showing up in the areas that you are most vulnerable? Because you are right there.
You're right there.
You're right there.
And I tell people all the time, I said fear, and I like the two you just said. I tell people all the time, fear is fail early and responsibly. That means once you fail early, you can learn. I tell people, we don't take losses, we take lessons.
We take lessons.
You know what I'm saying? It's just lessons. It ain't no losses that we taking.
Absolutely.
It's something that God, he's wanted to teach me in this moment so that I can come better for the next moment.
Let's go.
So many people scared to shine. It's like, man, okay, when you get on the stage, the lights here, they're like, oh, you'll be surprised how many people, once I cut the lights on, they're like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But it's still, the mindset. Let's talk about that shirt. Right there. Let's go get it. God bless. Talk about it, man.
Yo, listen.
Where it come from? When was the first time y'all thought about it? I mean, Tell me about it.
Man, listen, interesting story, long one, but I'm going to try to make it as short as possible. You know what I'm saying? I lost my dad early on, man. I was only 15, going on 16 years old. My dad transitioned at the age of 41 from colon cancer, right? And so, you know, I had an uncle, Uncle Irvin.
Come on.
You know, man, he would come down from Atlanta, originally from New Orleans as well.
Okay.
But he moved away to Atlanta. He would come down and check on the family, visit and all this kind of stuff. So he came down this particular time, man. He came down in a beautiful F-150, all black.
Come on.
I think it was the Lariat edition. I think. And I fell in love with that truck, man. When I tell you I fell in love with it, I looked at him, I said, hey, I want that truck. I want that truck. He said, you want it? I said, do I want it? He said, well, go get it. Say, man, he didn't scream it out like I do. I scream it out.
You scream it.
He didn't scream it out, but I heard it as if he was screaming to the top of his lungs.
You heard it from a different tone, because at that time the vibration that you had felt, it was the moment that was going to shift, so that now the other people can feel the moment.
Yes.
So the way you heard it at that moment is how you speak it.
It's how I speak it. And so when he said go get it, now mind you, I told you I'm from New Orleans. I'm from Uptown, 17th Ward, better known as Pigeon Town, right? Okay, and I represent the whole New Orleans, man. I have a love for the whole New Orleans, man. But I'm just saying that's where I'm from. You know, I'm from the 17th Ward. You know, and man, growing up where I grew up at, man, you know what I'm saying, it was rough. You know what I'm saying? But all of us survivors, man. All of us survivors. So I'm thinking that my uncle was gonna say, you know, man, if you want it, go get it, but you have to stay in school. You have to get this kind of money. You have to he didn't say any of that. He looked at me as if I can leave out of my mother's living room right then and there and go get it at that moment. So when he said it, I heard my dad. I heard my dad say, son, whatever you want in life, you can go get it. I heard my mom say, son, whatever it is that you want and whoever it is that you want to become in life, go get it. I heard all of that. It went beyond a truck. At that moment, I wasn't even thinking about the truck anymore. You know what I'm saying? So at that very moment, the words go get it is 3 words. It's 2 verbs and a noun.
Talk about it.
Everybody want that big red. It, whatever your it is. Your education, your finances, your relationship, I don't know. But no one wants to do the go get. So to activate your faith, as I say all the time, and walk in it, this is how you walk in it. It is there. You see, God bless. God blesses everything. This is the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. God bless everything. So whatever it is that you got to do to go get, whatever your it is, you have to activate. You have to do the action. You have to do the action first.
Yes.
And so that's where it come from, man. And I started sharing these 3 words in my early, you know, my early 30s, mid 30s. And, you know, but go get it is not just, you know, they're not just 3 words. They're actually a lifestyle, man.
I love it.
And let me make one more point.
Come on.
As you see, the letter I is the exclamation point.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
So the letter I represents everything that God put inside of us. We don't need to put this at the end of the word. God said he placed everything we need on the inside so we cannot lose it. So it will be with us wherever it is that we go. And I'm a passionate, if you don't know about that, guys, listen, man, don't get me started. You know, that exclamation point represents all of the things that you're passionate about. The people, the agape love, unconditional love that you have, no matter what it is that you're going through. Right? So that exclamation point is not just the letter I, but it represents everything that God put inside.
So this is the thing too, and I like to talk about this for a second. You losing your father could have made you be a sorry dad.
Big time.
But what's pushing you to be the best dad you can be?
Because even at his worst moment, he was still the best dad that he can be.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? And by me witnessing that, it was the moments that I knew I needed my tail bust. And that I know I needed to be punished longer than 3 days. That my dad showed me that even through the punishments, however he disciplined me, he led it with love.
I love it.
And I said, oh man, so you're not mad with me, you're mad at my choices.
The decisions.
The decisions that I made. And so when he passed, I made him a promise. And there's a lot of things that I went through life wondering if my dad, you know, is proud of me. And I would look up to the heavens, man, and I would ask all the time, hey, Papa, are you proud of me? I would be offshore working, busting my tail, not knowing what I'm doing, learning all of this stuff. You know, young man. And I'm looking up at my dad because he was in the military. He was in the oil industry as well. And I'm trying to follow his footsteps. And I'm looking up and I'm like, hey, Pop, are you proud of me? Are you proud of me?
That's good.
And so I said, if I want to be half the man that my dad was to myself, my brother, and my sister, and the husband that he was to my father, I have to go all in.
All in.
All in.
I love it.
And so even to this day, man, I tell my children every day, listen, if I'm not in the alignment of God, don't listen to dad. Because I'm not going to steer you where you need to be.
And that's good though.
Yeah, man.
And I think people need to understand that, because you have somebody that might be saying, you know, my dad wasn't there for me, you know, and so I ain't gonna be there for my kids. But people need to hear, like, listen, man, the kids was they just showed up. You know what I'm saying? So it's not their fault. Yeah. It's you as the parent to try to be the best parent you can to steer them in the right direction, man. So let's talk about the motive. Why is you so passionate about motivating people? Man. Because you don't have to do this. No. You choose to do this.
I choose to do it.
What makes you so passionate about putting that motivation inside of them, that battery inside of them?
Because when Jesus said, Father, my cup has runneth over, but for it not be my will, for it be your will.
Yes.
And he took whatever, he carried his cross.
Yes.
He didn't have to. God gave us free will. But I said, God, it's not my will that I choose. It's your will that I choose. No matter what it looks like.
I love it.
And so it's not easy, man. And I look at my little girl every day, man. And I told you my passion comes from, you know, my daughter being on life support. And though she's on life support, my two sons, my wife, they are the life support machine as well. So I look at how we all breathe life into my daughter, and when we disconnect her from a machine to do trach care, or change her clothing, she can breathe on her own independently for about almost close to 2 minutes.
Okay.
Close to 2 minutes. And you can see that she's struggling to do it. But she's doing it. Now, she can give up.
Yeah, easily.
And just tap out. And we're going to make some other kind of arrangements. But Darius decides to hold on until we reconnect her back to her machine. And when we reconnect her, though God is our first support, he blesses us with resources here. So he said, so it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth.
Yes, sir.
So we can have the resources that we need to have heaven right here.
Yes, sir.
And when Darius is reconnected to that machine, you see the life go back into her. So when I'm speaking, I said, oh man, come on. God, you didn't just give me the pain of losing my father to hurt me. You gave me that pain as fuel to ignite me. So when I'm speaking, I can go back to that pain.
Yes, sir.
Right? And use that moment to burst into where I need to be to breathe. Because somebody's lungs are collapsing right now.
Come on.
So when I speak, it's not entertainment. It's not, I always say, it's not my articulation, but it's truly about the resuscitation.
Yes.
Right? So when I'm speaking, I'm not trying to articulate. I'm trying to save the areas that are dying off in your life. It doesn't matter what I've been through. God gave me that to endure so I can bring the water back to your cup. So when I'm speaking like this. Listen, the makeup, the haircut, the nails, the hairdo. Listen, no one knows what's going on behind your scenes.
Yes, sir.
But God's sending me in your scene so I can breathe life behind those moments. Right? So I can breathe life behind those moments so you can continue to live the life that was promised to you. I promise you.
So then you got people that are going to say, well, I understand, but see, my situation is different. It's like, I tell people, listen, excuses is for the useless.
That's right.
If you want to continue to be useless, keep giving me the same excuses. So I always try to tell people, like, man, listen, everybody have an excuse to quit.
Yeah.
But it ain't about you quitting. It's about if you lose your sense of purpose. I believe God got people assigned to them.
Oh, big time.
And so there's so many people that ain't gonna be able to live their purpose because you ain't lived your purpose.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
you said it. That's it. Listen, guys, you said there are many people that won't be able to live their purpose because you're not living your purpose. Yes. Translation. God put something inside of you that is needed.
Yes.
And if you do not bring it out on the outside, and you take it to the graveyard with you, right? That's something that you say a lot.
Yes.
If you take it to the graveyard with you, not only does that die with you, the areas that we were supposed to grow in won't grow because you didn't give us what we needed.
And that's like, I didn't really understand the moment until I realized, like, my mom passed away at 50.
Yeah.
I said, man, she passed away at 50.
Yeah.
Time is ticking. I'm like, man, what am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? So your mom passed away. So you was telling me. Let's talk about what you was telling me. We was on the phone. You was telling me about the people who passed away the last couple of years. Let's go into what was your emotional state and why you keep pushing,
man. First and foremost, let me extend my condolences to you.
I appreciate it. I got a picture. I always keep her on the podcast. She on the podcast with
Blessings, Mama.
Yes.
Blessings, Mama. And I thank you for creating this young man and sharing him with us. But you lost your mom transition, so you've been feeling. Man, it's very hard for me, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm in the flesh as well.
Come on.
And you asked me, how is it that I'm still going? Because, listen, I expressed early on, I'm a multi-best-selling author. And I'm blessed to be in a collective series, The Impact of Influence, with visionary author, my brother, Chip Baker. And that first volume, I'm in volume 1, volume 2, and now, volume 6 comes out next month. And I'm also in that volume as well. My first volume was about the origins of Go Get It, right? And so as I'm sharing the excitement with my big brother, didn't know that we were going to become, Amazon bestsellers.
Okay.
Never even, put the book out there to become a bestseller.
Yeah. You just want to impact people.
Yeah, impact. And so I was so excited, man. I'm on the phone with my big bro. Now everybody's back in New Orleans. I'm here in Texas. Okay. Right. So I couldn't go around the corner. I know. I had to 6 hour drive. Yeah, man. So I'm on the phone and I'm sharing the excitement with Derek, man. And, jumping up and down, I said, big bro, I need you to come on tour with me. We're about to go on tour.
So we can experience
together. Yes. My brother said, listen, you don't need me to do nothing. He said, but if you want me,
I'll be there.
He said, man, God placed something inside of you that's going to bless the world.
Come on.
And I'm extremely proud of you. Man, 4 hours later, I get a phone call. My mom, my sister screaming and hollering to the top of their lungs. I can't make out what it is that they're saying. And I'm like, Ma, what's going on, guys?
That's crazy.
I don't understand what you're saying. Well, they told me that my big brother had dropped to the floor and died. This happened 4 hours after I talked to him. Right? So
that's an emotional roller coaster.
Man, this happened this happened in 2021, right? 2022 July. Okay, my mother-in-law passed away.
Oh wow!
So now I'm still mourning my brother, still going through that pain, But I had to put that on the side because now my wife is mourning her mom.
Oh, come on,
right? So now I have to be a husband that I never been to her before because I never had a wife who ever lost a mother. So
that's good.
Even through this contrasting moment, I have an opportunity to show my wife that she chose the right man. When you said I do, I didn't mean that in a marginal way.
Come on.
Right? I meant that in an unconditional way. So now I have to put aside what's hurting me.
Come on.
And this is God saying he'll never put no more on us than we can bear.
That's true.
Right? So Darius, you lost your brother, man. You hurting from that. But God said he'll never put too much on you. Right? So I can bear whatever it is that he's putting on me. So now I have enough residual strength to mourn my brother and carry my wife.
Talk about it.
And then here come fear. Right? Fear is showing up because I'm being strong.
It's going to show up.
Fear is showing up because I'm being strong. I get a phone call. The doctor says, my daughter, she's going to go through some things and we don't know if she's going to make it through the rest of the year. Right? So lost my brother, lost my mother-in-law, helping my kids and my wife go through that. And now they're telling us that my daughter may not make it through the rest of the year. Right? So now I'm carrying that. All while my mom is sick. So sick that in December on the 13th, 4:56 a.m., my mother passed away in my arms. I'm talking 3 months ago.
Wow.
From now, three months ago from right now. My mom, and you asked Darius, how are you still going on?
Yes.
Well, even though my mom took her last breath, and if we all know the relationship between breathing is inhalation, exhalation. As she took her last breath, my sister standing on one side of the bed, I'm standing on the other. We're holding my mom up, consoling her, comforting her through her transition. She gave her last breath to both my sister and myself. And she gave us the gift of her last breath.
Man,
so
that's crazy.
When she resuscitated us with that, that breath is what's sustaining me to speak to you right now.
Man, there's so many like mixed emotions that like people, because let me tell you, it's been 13 years since my mom passed away and I still have moments.
I know it.
I still have moments. It's like, man, I have moments where it's like, dang, I wish she was here to see all this. You know what I'm saying? I wish she was here to see this. I wish she was here to experience this moment with me. You know what I'm saying? But I know she's looking down, but it's still you want her to be here physically. You know, it's something that holds heavy. And I think that's what really pushes me to the next level. So I have a game I like to play. I call it the word game.
Let's go.
I ask questions. I say a word, and I want you to tell me what does it mean to you. But before I ask you that, though, so, and I like to ask this question. What do you tell your 13-year-old self so that today your life look different?
I tell a young man, no matter what it is that you're going through, keep going. Because it's needed. Without it, you cannot become who I am today.
That's true. And so, because I think people need to know, like, man, like, because everybody looking at this moment. They're looking at, like, where I'm at today.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Where you at today doesn't mean where you're going to be at tomorrow.
That's right.
And people need to kind of shift their momentum. So we have a time capsule about this big. We need to put 3 things in there. Before you die, we're going to bury it in the ground, and we're going to get a group of people have your name. They're going to pull it out the ground. What 3 things are you going to leave in there so the world can remember you by?
Man, the footprints and the fingerprints of everything that I touched.
Right? I like it.
I'm going to put my hardships in there first. Right? Because without them, you cannot develop the strengths that you need to get to the next dimension.
You can't.
Right? And when you make it to the next dimension, I'm going to take a portrait and show you what that looks like. And it starts at 0. So don't think that it starts at a number greater than, because it doesn't. And when you start at that 0, I need you to know that whatever it is, here's a seed. Why a seed? Because you're still becoming.
Come on.
I need you to do the work, plant that seed, and help it to grow. Not only for self, but for those who are coming behind you. Only my family, for those who are coming behind you.
Yes.
Not marginal. Everyone. So listen to me. The way that God loves the world is the way that I love the world and everybody in it.
Come on.
What if they don't like you? Everything that I leave in that bottle applies to anyone who wants to live out the promise of God.
Come on.
Everything that God put inside of me, I'm going to put inside of that bottle.
And I think people need to know that, because my thing is so many people not living on purpose.
Yeah.
They just living.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they not trying, like me. I wake up every morning to say, you know what? How can I post a video that can inspire people? You know, who can I get on my podcast that can inspire people?
Yeah.
Like I wake up, who can I help to build out their brand? Who can I help with videos, with reels? And it's different things that my business is functioning on. But I'm like, how? So in the next 3 to 5 years, where you see yourself though?
Man, you know what? I used to, really, just live off that vision board and constantly going to the vision board.
Come on.
And I had to realize that things weren't manifesting because I wasn't living out the vision board.
Come on.
Right. So to see myself where I want to be in the next 3 to 5 years, right, I have to see myself where I am right now to get there.
Yes, I agree.
So the visions that I have is not what it is that I want, but it's what God already promised. So where I want to be in the next 3 to 5 years is where God promised me to be. Because if I say where I want to be, then I may be limiting myself.
Yeah, because I say, when you tell a guy your plan, he laugh at you.
Bust out.
He laugh, oh, is this your plan?
Yeah.
Like, because I see, like me, I wrote this book, 208 pages.
Let's go.
It was sitting on the shelf for about 10 years before I released it. It's because, God, I didn't find my wife yet. Once I found my wife and I met this woman, because I've been married 5 years, we've been together 8.
Let's go.
And so once I met her, she said, it's something in you. It's something in you that I see. And I believe in you so much, you can quit your railroad job. So, and go live out your dreams, because if something happened, I got us. Because I see where you going. It took her putting that battery in my back.
Let's go.
For me to shift into what you see today. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It took that moment. But I try to tell all these young men, I'm like, man, you've been too distracted by multiple women. We can have one woman, one vision, one goal. You one vision away from being financially free. But you got so many distractions, and the devil love it. Because you ain't living out your purpose.
That's right. That's right.
He drowning you in distractions.
That's right.
And when you drown in distractions, you can't live out your purpose.
You can't live it out. How?
You know what I'm saying? So It's so important. So what do you tell the next generations how not to get distracted?
Listen, when the distractions come, you have to be able to identify what are they keeping you from, right? So they're going to come in the form of family members, friends, and or strangers, right? But most importantly, they're going to come as yourself.
Yes.
Right? You're going to tell yourself that you can't do it.
Of course.
Before someone else tells you that you can't do it. Right? You're going to tell yourself no one in your family never did it before somebody else tells you that nobody in your family ever did it.
Come on.
And listen, what you have to remind yourself is that's not the end of the sentence.
Yes.
Put a comma, okay, there and add until you. Until you.
Come on.
So whatever the distractions may be,
come on,
embrace them. Okay? But embrace them and break through them. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Darius, I don't want to be disrespectful. You're disrespecting yourself if you stand there.
Man.
Darius, but it's my aunt, it's my uncle, it's my mom. Listen, respectfully, mom, respectfully, pop, respectfully, aunt, I'm going to have to go beyond where you stop. Because it was given to me to do so. This distracted you and kept you here.
Yes.
This distracted me, but it also reminded me that I could tiptoe.
Come on.
I can look to the side.
Come on.
I can climb higher. Whatever it is that I need to do, I can go beyond this distraction and still get there.
And I think, I mean, because I meet so many people and they always have a reason why they haven't achieved their goals. Yeah. I said, the reason why you have a reason because you ain't found your why.
Your why, man.
You know what I'm saying? And then, so there's a word called denial. You heard the acronym?
No, but I know you. Boy, listen, I ain't messing with you. I'm learning from you.
Denial. And you tell me what you think.
Okay.
Don't even notice I am lying.
That is.
So many people in denial.
Don't even know that I am lying. Woo, that's powerful, man. Wow.
So many people go into this denial stage like, well, I don't really. It's like you trying to give yourself excuses. Those excuses give you reasons why you don't do it. Now you get into the state of denial. I tell people the word rats, all right? Rats chase what? Cheese.
Cheese all day.
Black people consider cheese as what?
Money.
But if you take the word rats and flip it around,
spell something differently.
It spells star.
Star.
You only become a star when you start living out your purpose and stop chasing money. The money gonna come. But the purpose is so big that God is gonna provide all your needs that you need.
Man, how I translate that is you don't have to chase what God already placed.
I love it.
If it's for you, it's for you.
Come on.
Right? No matter what distraction, no matter where fear, is present.
Come on.
You do not have to chase what God has already placed, because if you turn it upside down, it spells star. And if God put it there for you, then it's there for you. No matter what you do in life. Darius, what if I listen, get back up. It was meant for you to fall down.
Yes.
It was meant for you to fall down and look back up. Right? Listen, a seed has to go down in order for it to produce what needs to come up. So in your moments of transgression, transition yourself and position yourself to get to the elevation, that is waiting for you. That is waiting for you.
The problem is people trying to plant seeds on concrete.
How? Man,
they can't even go in.
How?
They trying to plant seeds on concrete.
How?
And so I really want to shift into POUR. You heard the acronym?
No, throw it to me.
Passing over opportunity repeatedly. What you think?
Man, listen, that's so deep, guys. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. The mindset. Just because that's your default atmosphere doesn't mean that you cannot disturb it.
Come on.
And bring about change. Man, POUR. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. Right now, someone is about to skip this video. For whatever the reason may be.
Come on.
If you skip it, you're going to be passing over opportunities repeatedly. There's something in this message that God has directed you here for today. Get it. Don't just get it. Go get it.
Go get it.
And live out whatever it is that's hurting you. What is your why? I'm about to say.
Yes.
What's hurting you? Listen, discover it.
Money stands for momentarily owned, not externally yours. Money just a tool. Money just a tool that God gives us. He gives us a tool. See, the problem is people worried about money, but it's only momentarily owned, not externally yours. So you use the money as a tool to get where you're trying to go. What's your thoughts?
Man, it sounds like you're saying use it for what you need right now. But that's on that. So others coming behind you can use it too. That's what it sounds like.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah. The problem is we trying to hold on to everything, but see, your blessings don't come in holding on. Your blessings come in
letting go.
Letting go.
Yeah.
Because I can't receive anything with a closed fist, but I can receive everything with something open.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're guarded by things. That's why the Bible says the money is the root of all evil, because people love money so much they forget about God. They love money so much they forget about their spouse. They love money so much they forget about their dreams. They go to a job, JOB, journey of the growth, for 30 years and wondering why they can't. Listen, you've been on this journey for 30 years. Yeah. So we call it the 40 over 40 rule. You working 40 hours a week for 40 years and can't receive 40% of what you put into the journey. So you might as well work for yourself and live your own dreams. You know what I'm saying?
Loving it, bro. Like everything you just said, so many of us are doing that right now.
Come on.
Right? And I was in that race. In that race, man. Now listen, the transition not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy.
You know what I'm saying? Especially
it's going to be worth it.
It's going to be worth it. But the thing is, I find that those of us who are having hard, times and struggles to do differently, to think differently, is because we have built up such a momentum.
Come on.
Whether we like it or not, it's familiar. Right? We know we don't like it, but we know how to do it. We know we shouldn't be there, but we have the knowledge about it. So to become someone differently and to do things differently, we have to be someone we've never been. And many of us are so comfortable in default, we're going to stay right there, even though we're in a marginal atmosphere.
And God, He wants us to be great, but we don't allow our greatness to happen.
Right.
Because we let things get in the way. Another word I call rich, which means residual income creates happiness. So once people understand that once you find your purpose and your goal, the residual or whatever you're doing is going to create the happiness that you need to get where you're trying to go.
Man, so that hit on so many levels, man, because you said, repeat it one more time.
Residual income creates happiness.
So that means time freedom.
That's it.
Right? I don't want to have to ask permission to anyone that's going to have authority to tell me no, that I can't go and see my daughter or my sons or my wife receive whatever it is that they're receiving or do whatever it is that they're doing. That means to me that I don't have to say next time to my kids because I've made a promise to somebody else, even though I don't want to keep the promise. Right? I don't want to keep the promise. Many of us are going to lunch right now and we're not even hungry. With the job telling us this is your lunchtime. I'm not even hungry, man. But I have to eat when you tell me to eat.
You know what's crazy? I tell people all the time, I'm like, listen, understand two things. All right. And this is what I seen this when I was 18. I said, school is keeping you there for 8 hours a day. Telling you what to do and how to do it. You're catching a bus. Prison.
Yes.
Prison. Is doing the same, teaching the same principles.
They following the same model.
Not only that, they have found a system to lock us up, put us up, and make money off of us. So me, I told myself, I'm like, man, I need to find a system for myself and my business.
Let's go.
And the acronym means save yourself time, energy, and money. When you understand the system,
let's go.
Then I'm saving myself time, energy, and money. Now I know how to run the play.
Let's go.
I know how to make money with the internet. I know how to make millions. I know how to do it because I know the play I can run because honestly, I'm living out my purpose. So what should I do on the system? How they translate in the system?
Man, you know what? The systems are very, very important. I don't care what we're doing. Everything is going to involve a process. So to me, process also means that a system needs to be parallel too, right? So there's no successful process without a successful system.
Talk about it.
Now, I'm not saying that whatever system you come up with needs to be perfect right off the bat, because it's going to take your hardships to help you design that system. How do you know to tell me not to do this
when you ain't experienced it?
When you have not experienced it, right? So I take it back to ingredients. If you put too much salt in anything, okay, it's going to destroy everything. Know the measurables. And systems allows us to do that.
And so I tell people all the time, I was like, man, you got to reverse engineer this thing. So I'm going to bring you on this journey real quick. So there's a journey that I said, man, I asked myself, I was like 21. I started my first business at 18. I started a graphic design company. Okay. And so one thing I told myself was, I'm like, okay, how do I position myself to get successful? So I met a guy, he said, man, write down 365 days and divide it by $100,000. So he said, all right, I did that. Okay, $278 a day. He said, then find something you can sell for $207 a day or for $27 10 times. So now we can reverse engineer our thinking. And now we can create. The problem is nobody giving us this financial literacy that we need to shift our thinking, to teach us how to build brands, teach us how to build millions of dollars. They learning to play.
They're learning it, man.
And they running it. And they teaching their kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to start teaching each other. Like, man, this is a play and this is how you run. So what's your thoughts on?
Man, my thoughts on that is, first, we have to take ownership of where we are right now.
Come on.
Right? And many of us, we don't want, we'll sing the lyrics to everyone else's song.
Oh, come on.
Right? Come on. We're in front of the mic, when we're in front underneath the spotlight, we don't sing the lyrics to our own song. Wow. We don't want to take ownership that it's our fault that we're not where we're supposed to be because we're not doing what we're supposed to do. Well, Darius, I don't have the education. Go get it.
Go get it.
Well, Darius, I don't have, whatever it is that you don't have, you have to go get it. And we're not being organically transparent with self. Okay, that's why we're still standing where we've been standing. Right? So in order to learn a system that's going to give us the time freedom, the financial freedom, that's going to increase us, that's going to elevate us in the ways that we desire, we must first look ourselves in the mirror and say, I'm right here. And in order for me to get over there, my right here has to become better than my best, because my hardships are the bridges, the ladders, and the step stools that's going to increase me, advance me, and elevate me to where it is that I'm trying to get. So take ownership. If you don't know it, you don't know it.
And that's okay.
That's okay. Don't let the embarrassment keep you stagnant.
Not only that, though, I tell people, elevation takes isolation.
Isolation. Productive isolation.
When I became job free, I was so isolated.
Yeah.
My wife had to say, hey, sometimes I'm the only person that you see today. You need to get out the house. But see, I was trying to build my brand. I was so locked in, because when I was job free, all my friends was working.
Yeah, I got you.
They all was working. So the conversation that we had used to be about, man, how was the day at the railroad? Yeah. Man, how was it? That conversation changed.
It's changed. Yeah.
So now I couldn't talk to them about how to write a book. Yeah. I couldn't talk to them about how to build a brand. Right. I couldn't talk to them exactly how to get this building. They mind didn't see what I already had seen. Yeah. But they was like, oh, well, I'm like, man, look, I'm about to do something, about to shake something up in Houston. What, you trying to do a podcast? What happened? I'm like, the podcast turned into $1 million business.
Let's go.
And we got podcast mentorship, $2,500 a year. Now we got podcast ebook, $47.
Let's go.
Now we got podcast digital course for $297.
Let's go.
We didn't created the brand, but it took me being isolated and being lonely on this journey.
Absolutely, you will.
Some people was like, oh man, I was lonely, bro. Yeah. I mean, I had my wife, but
I get you.
But my friends, I get you. They just wasn't there.
Yeah, man. You know what? I experienced the same, man. We're talking about the journey, right? So I experienced that loneliness, and God reminded me in a soft whisper. He said, Darius, you're becoming someone you've never been. So you're not alone. So there's a you living inside of you that's dependent on everything you're doing right now.
Come on.
So I'm 45, and a 46-year-old, he's going to be the greatest husband to the wife that I have because of the things that I'm doing right now. So how am I setting him up to be the greatest father, to be the greatest husband, to be the greatest brother?
Yes.
Okay, it depends on what my 45-year-old self is currently doing. And on this journey, though I'm by myself, I'm within myself. So
That's good. That's so good.
Oh, it's true of me inside of me.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. Because I think we, like I said, you got abs, but you just gotta get rid of the fat.
You have to.
You know what I'm saying?
We're there.
So you want to be successful, but you gotta shift that mindset.
You have to shift your mindset, man.
And you gotta be connected to other people.
You have to be, and it's not going to be easy, guys. Listen, I promise you, it's not going to be easy. But I promise you, like me and Brother Lloyd saying, it's going to be worth it. Like, your reason, your why, and your purpose. My reason, my why, and my purpose. Or my three kids and my wife. Not my three wives, not my three wives, honey. My three kids and my wife. Man, no, we're not doing it like that. You know what I'm saying? But my three kids and my wife. And every time I feel like I'm about to give up, tap out, and quit, I think about them. I think about how will they benefit, or how will they be affected by the moves that I'm making? And so with that always connected to everything that I do, I continue to go get it no matter what.
So this is the point that we turn it around. I always try to get a flow to everybody else. Is there anything you want to ask me, man?
Man, I do. Absolutely. There's a lot of things that I want to ask you, man. Okay. So, for me, it's not about self. Like me, even though I am a guest host on the podcast today, and I'm truly grateful for that. I
appreciate it.
But I don't come as a teacher, man. I absolutely come as a student.
I got you.
And as we discussed before we, sat in front of the world, and I express how truly proud of you and your wife I am, I'm looking at everything that you guys thought of before you shared it with all of us. So let me ask you this.
Come on, ask me anything.
Your mom, and there's a lot of other hardships that you have experienced in your life. What inspired, provoked, and encouraged you to continue your journey that led you here? But before we get here, what was that thought, and why did you even think it?
The thing was, my mom died at 50.
Yeah.
One thing that hit me was, man, life is short. So I'm like, what do I have to do? So when I was 18 years old, I started a graphic design company called Creative Ambition, and we started building a video game company.
Okay.
We did it for about a year. We brought people in. We never finished the video game, but it was so many lessons that I learned in that. And I'm like, man, back in 2009, it hit me.
Yeah.
God said, why now is your time? I'm like, why now is your time? What you talking about, God? He said, that's the brand you need to build.
Let's go.
He said, you need to build that brand. But I want you to build it on 3 principles: life, brand, legacy. He said, I want you to build it on teaching people how to design their life, how to create their brand, but most importantly, leave their legacy. But he said, I want you to also help them build their own product. So this is how I go. Why now is your time. I teach people how to design the life they want, create the brand they deserve, and most importantly, leave their legacy with their own information and products.
Let's go.
All that came from God, because I was seeking out a purpose. He says, I'm going to position you so that you can not only make millions with your brand, but you can be able to help others do the same. So one of my goals is to help 100 people become a millionaire. So I'm so locked in, but through their own information and products.
Yeah.
Because one thing I learned is, and I don't really go too hard on this but us, we really don't know.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man, I need to be the guy. One thing, when I grew up in Baytown, Texas. You probably have to pass through Baytown to get. So I grew up in Baytown, and one thing I seen was everybody who would come speak to our schools, it would never be a black person.
Wow.
So I'm like, man, I need to be. What they can see me.
Yeah.
And so now God put this book, and he got 3 more I'm working on right now. Trisha's book, A Teenage Guide, and then the major one is how I went from 0 to $1 million in 1 year with my own products.
Let's go.
People need to know.
Absolutely.
The play, man.
Absolutely.
They need to know the play. So I mean, time running short, man. God showed me there's only 3 things you can do with time. You can spend it, you can invest, you can invest it, or you can waste it. So you got to pick what you're going to do with it every day.
Now, let me ask you this. You just gave 3 options. Now, we talking about being organic and transparent.
Yes.
Did you experience all 3 to get you where you are?
I experienced all 3. Now? I wasted time. Because I looked in the mirror and was like, ain't nobody gonna buy your book. Who are you to write a book? You know what I'm saying? I wasted time. I spent time with people who didn't have my best interests.
That's right.
So I was connected to people who was just like, oh yeah, I see what you're doing, but you're not really going to be successful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so once I disconnected from all of that, met my wife, plugged into her, and she was like, listen, because she keep me on the straight and narrow. Hey,
let's go.
None of that.
Let's go.
This person ain't good for you. I got discernment.
Let's go.
Get rid of them. They're not good for you.
Let's go.
You know, so me, I'm always trying to help people.
Yeah.
And so she's my eyes and my soulmate to say, hey, they're not good. Don't do that.
Now let me ask you this. Are you sometimes or have been that person to yourself too? The person that you shouldn't be around?
Back in the day? Not now. Now I guess I'm living so much on purpose that I'm only allowing myself to digest what's good for me.
I love it though.
The problem is I used to digest anything.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? And by me digesting what's good for me, then now I'm the person that I am today. And then the fun, this what's funny about life is you meet people and they think they know the old you.
Yeah.
They don't know the new version.
So they conviction the innocent man. That's what it sounds like you're saying to me.
That's it.
If you're going to remind me of my past doings, fall downs and letdowns, and you're charging me that today, you're convicting an innocent man.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's the old version of me.
Yeah.
It's a new version. I ain't talked to you in 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Who I used to be and who I am today.
Two different people.
You know what I'm saying?
And I noticed that and I asked that question because I've been that person to myself.
Yes.
And I realized that, hey, Darius, once you disconnect from Darius, you'll give Darius an opportunity to grow. And once you allow Darius to emerge, if you left Darius behind, it's not going to be hard for you to leave everybody else alone. Right? So we have to leave us alone first to leave everything and everyone else alone too.
And that's what God had showed me a while back. It's like, man, you got to take off all this old flesh, all this old mindset, all the old people. Yeah. Some of your friends, your friendship got to expire. Yeah. They've been in a umbilical cord. You got to cut them. Yeah. You can't even talk to them. Don't have to answer your phone. Yeah. When they call your phone, just hit delete. Don't delete. Matter of fact, you cannot be connected to them because they don't have your best interest.
They don't have your best interest.
And they don't see your vision. Yeah. So since they don't see your vision, they're gonna project their beliefs on you.
Yeah, absolutely, all day.
They're gonna throw it on you. Also, you trying to do a studio, you trying to do that. Man, what, you trying to rent a podcast room? You trying to, they don't put their fears on you. And now you're gonna start to believe what they believe.
Yeah. You're gonna inherit that energy. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna listen. The shoe is a nice shoe and it matched the outfit.
Come on.
You wear a size 9, but you're wearing a size 7. So every time you take a step,
your foot hurting,
and everybody gonna notice. Everybody gonna notice, but you gonna notice it first. That's why you have to remove yourself from you first. Because before you go out in the world, you feel the pain.
Yes.
And you see how you walking. But now you're gonna go and introduce that to everybody else because you're trying to show off the fit. The fit don't even, man, come on, man. Take the shoe off, man.
So you said vision board, and I heard this. It says create a vision environment.
Yeah,
don't worry about a vision board.
That's exactly
create a vision environment.
That's exactly what it is.
You know what I'm saying? So that I could connect. So at the end of this year, when I have my podcast ball, I can say, man, look, you was on the podcast, come through, man.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So now I can be connected to other people.
Yes, sir.
That's greatness, because your network is your network.
Absolutely, all day and every day. If you don't believe so, go check your bank account and see if it's on what you want, or if it's on that oh no.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, man.
Go see what it's on.
So before you came here, before you walked in the building, what was your expectations?
My expectations.
Well, I know Chip had told you about it, but what was your?
Man, my expectations were not this. And what I mean by that, let me elaborate, man. I told you, like, I don't, and those who are really close to me know that I don't live a life of expectations. I live a life of what's promised.
Come on.
Right? So I asked God in my prayers, which is only a conversation.
Yes.
That when I go on my brother's podcast, God, let it not be what I want it to be, but everything that you predestined it to be.
Come on.
So now I'm experiencing what God had already purposed.
Yeah, I love it.
So my expectations are non and void when it comes down to what he already blessed. If that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
You know, you have a shirt that says go beyond. And it reads some more as well. But this is what go beyond looks like.
I got you.
So I could have asked God to bless this day to be a certain way. And my expectations would have been for it to be just that. But God said, I love you and your brother too much to let it just be that.
Yes.
So I'm gonna give you something that's my past, but now it's your future.
Yeah, and I think I always tell people, man, because it was like, man, what's your daily ritual? I said, my daily ritual before I hit the ground, for my feet touch that ground.
Absolutely.
I gotta say, Lord, I thank you. Absolutely. I thank you for waking me up. I thank you for guiding this day. I thank you for the blessing. I thank you for the road that I'm about to travel on to go to the studio. I thank you for the things that I cannot see, but that you can let your angel step in so I can already, it ain't even gonna touch me. And then God said, since you follow my will, I will give you the desires of your heart. And not only will I give you the desires of your heart, is that I will line you up around people.
Let's go.
Who will overfill your cup. The problem is this, and I use this analogy a lot. You got a glass. The glass represents the body. You got a thing of water. We pour the water in, it represents positive energy.
That's right.
We got a little teaspoon over here of once we pour the water in, we're gonna drop a dime in there so we can see the vision.
Okay, got you.
Now we get the teaspoon of Coke. We pour the teaspoon of Coke in the water. What happens to that dime?
Oh, it's not as clear as it was.
It's not as clear. So just a teaspoon of negativity can cloud your vision.
Oh, big time.
But also, God say, just a mustard seed of faith
can overcome it all.
Come on. So God said, hold on. In order for you to even clear up that teaspoon that you see your vision, you got to empty yourself out and start over. I'm just saying.
Man, listen, man, I'm dark. I'm turning red, but I'm too dark for you to see it right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, everything that you're hitting on is feeding my spirit. It's feeding my soul, man. It's feeding my mental.
Come on.
It's feeding me in such a way that I would not have received this nourishment had I not been right here with you today.
I appreciate it, man.
You know what I'm saying? I mean that with everything in me.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Anything else before we get off?
Yeah, man. You know, I just want to encourage those, man, whoever you are, wherever you are. It doesn't matter your race.
Come on.
It doesn't matter your gender. It doesn't matter your upbringing.
Talk about it.
All that matters is that still small voice that you constantly hear.
Yes.
Right? What's making you get up? What's making you move? Listen, no matter the degree of the turbulence, okay, listen, the turbulence that we are experiencing.
Talk about it.
That turbulence is not there to make you land your plane. But I promise you guys, listen, that turbulence is there to enable us to become better pilots. So continue to throttle up and continue to fly. Because we can.
Man, as I always tell you guys, keep watching me like you watch TV. Not only will you watch your income grow, but I promise you your life will change. Listen, go out and design the life you want. Create the brand you deserve. But most importantly, leave your legacy for years to come. We see you guys in the next podcast. Peace.
Absolutely. Listen, one
more thing.
Listen, if you guys want to give me a follow.
Yes.
For positive.
I'm going to put all your stuff in there. The whole time you've been talking, I'm going to have it all in there.
Lessons,
yes, sir.
One-stop shop. Yes, with Vine_encourager_ on Instagram. God bless you guys. Remember to go get it.
Yes, sir. Peace out.